Let me ask you something before we begin. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln lost 8 elections before he became President of the United States? 8 times. 8 times he stood up, put his name forward, and was told, "Not you." Or consider this. J.K. Rowling was a broke, single mother rejected by 12 publishing houses in a row. 12 people looked at Harry Potter and said, "Nobody wants this." Here is what's remarkable. Neither of those moments made the history books. Nobody filmed them, nobody posted about them. There was no applause, no audience, no celebration, just a person, alone, deciding to try one more time. That is an unseen victory. And today, we're going to talk about why those invisible moments are the most important ones of your entire life. If this is your first time here, welcome. We tell stories that actually mean something. Hit subscribe and the bell so you never miss one. Now, let's get into it. I want to tell you about a man named David. David was 43 years old, working a logistics job he'd held for 16 years. He wasn't unhappy exactly, but every morning when his alarm went off, something in his chest felt heavy, like he was carrying a life that fit, but just barely. One evening, his 10-year-old daughter handed him a drawing she'd made. A man in a blue apron, standing in front of a bakery, smiling so wide, the smile went off the edge of the page. "That's you, Daddy," she said, "in your real job." David had mentioned once, that he used to love baking, years ago, before life got practical. That night, after his daughter went to sleep, David sat at the kitchen table and did something he hadn't done in years. He baked, just a loaf of bread, at 11 p.m., for no one, with no plan. He didn't post it. He didn't tell anyone. He just baked. That was the first unseen victory. Over the next 2 years, David baked every Sunday morning. He took a night class in pastry. He saved a small amount each month. He said no to things that didn't matter so he could say yes to the thing that did, quietly, patiently, without announcing it. Nobody at work knew. Nobody online knew. There was no audience for what David was building. 3 years after that kitchen table moment, David opened a small bakery. On the first morning, the line stretched around the block. His daughter stood by the door, beaming. A local reporter asked him, "What was the moment you decided to go for it?" David thought for a long time. "The moment nobody saw," he said. "The 11 p.m. loaf. That was the real moment. Everything else was just showing up to prove it was true." The victory nobody filmed is the most real one. We live in a world that has convinced us that if something isn't documented, it didn't count. Post the workout or it didn't happen. Share the goal or it isn't real. Go public with the dream or no one will believe you. But research tells a different story. When you announce a goal publicly, your brain receives a small hit of the same reward it would get for actually achieving it. You get the feeling of progress without doing the work. And then, the motivation quietly leaks out. David's 11 p.m. loaf was real precisely because no one was watching. He wasn't performing progress, he was making it. The unseen victory is the one you earn when there's no reward coming except the truth of the thing itself. That is the most honest win you will ever have. The small daily choice is the whole game. Here's what nobody tells you about transformation. It doesn't look like a transformation while it's happening. It looks like David baking bread at 11 p.m. when he has work in the morning. It looks like saying no to the Friday night that would wreck the Saturday practice. It looks like choosing the slightly harder thing again and again and again, with nothing to show for it yet. Lincoln didn't win on his 9th attempt because the 9th attempt was different from the 8 before it. He won because 8 losses hadn't stopped him from preparing for the 9th. Scientists call this the plateau of latent potential. You do the work, you see no result, you keep doing the work. And then, suddenly, like ice that has been warming for a long time, everything melts at once. The breakthrough everyone sees was funded entirely by the build-up nobody watched. Every small, daily choice you make in the direction of who you want to be is an unseen victory. Stack enough of them, and the world will eventually call it overnight success. The audience you need is you. The last thing I want to leave you with is this. At some point, most of us start chasing the wrong finish line. We want to be seen. We want to be recognized. We want the moment where the world turns to look and says, "There, that person made it." And that moment can be beautiful. David's daughter at the door was beautiful. But it is not the victory. The victory was the Sunday morning he baked when no one asked him to. The victory was the night he chose a night class over Netflix. The victory was every single moment he kept faith with himself when no one else even knew there was a promise being kept. You are the most important audience for your own life. When you do the right thing and no one sees, you see. And that version of you, the one who keeps showing up in the dark, is the one who builds everything else. Your unseen victories are not invisible to the only person who truly matters, you. So here is what I want you to do. Think of one thing you have been quietly working on, one thing nobody knows about, one small step you've been taking in the dark. Drop it in the comments below. Just one line. No explanation needed, no judgment here. Just put it out into the world so it knows you're serious, because you deserve a witness. Even if that witness is a stranger in a comment section who says, "I see you. Keep going." And if this story moved something in you, share it with one person who is doing hard, invisible work right now and needs to hear that it counts. Because it does. Every unseen victory counts. That is all for today. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.